Hi, how's it in the name of Christ? It's your girl Cranky Kikarabo. I hope you're good, I hope you're peachy, I hope you're Stella, and I hope you're in a neat little bunch. I hope I don't get a speech lag, but it is what it is. Let me put some caveats out there. I'm wearing application makeup, so if it bounces off or falls off, have mercy. It's an app. My captions are not always accurate, so have mercy even on that. Plus, they also use a small G for God sometimes, and it's like not cool. That's not me. I don't have time to edit them. One day in the future, perhaps. But for now, we just deal with whatever we have. I have a speech lag here. I might. It's still kind of hot right now, but I gotta talk at some point. The sun has set. It's not as hot as during the day, and when it's kind of warm or hot, the speech lag is especially spectacular. So we don't know if we're going to be dealing with anything of that nature. Yeah, guys, I'm happy to announce that I have not gotten any new acne. It's day 4 now since being off Omni Gold, so thank God. I'm also fading here, like my two-tone issue is fading. I am still lighter than normal, but I think I'm coming back home to what I used to be. There will always be a white cast on my face because I've got this like white casty sunscreen. I don't have money to replace it, so that's always going to be a thing. But you know, with certain kinds of lighting over here, we overcome and we conquer. Okay, right. That's like without context. Like if you're coming here for the first time, I apologize. I just talk into a camera every single day, hoping that something's gonna give. So you're gonna have to like kind of keep watching me to understand what I'm talking about sometimes. Anyway, guys, we're gonna get straight into the point. It's the 21st of November 2023, Tuesday. It is a day of such a nature as that, and I'm hot, I'm boiling, but like whatever. We love our own natural hair, amen. Praise the Lord for it. Look at how healthy it is. It's thriving, growing, doing a thing. Yeah, but like I have challenges with my nape at the back, and I know that that's a thing. I haven't dealt with it because I don't have time. I'm a lazy natural because my life sucks. I don't have time to be focusing on much else other than my very sad life. So focusing on a nape that is being eaten away at by a dog is just not top up on my priorities. But it is something that I'll deal with in due season. Like this last part of my hair, this like bottom part here. It's like there's no hair, but like I'll deal with it later. It requires another strategy, a special attention that I just don't have time for. But on the day when I start growing my nape, I'll let you guys know what's happening. Is that thunder outside or what? I'll let you guys know so that when I do gain success with it, which I will because I always do, that you might gain some tips and hints. But for now, we are neglecting it proper. Why? Because of the kinds of dreams that I keep getting. Because of the life that is gawking at me. Okay, there are rumblings of thunder outside, basically kind of threatening that it's gonna rain. If it rains, I won't work out. If it doesn't rain, I will work out, so we'll see what goes on. I am kind of backlogged anyway, so it would be great if I didn't have to work out, but I will see. I hope it does not rain while I'm chatting here, because it really does, like it puts a damper on my step, like in the worst way. Can't deal, can't tolerate. Absolutely loathe it. That's what's good. Yeah. I don't even know what in the world I was talking about. Something putting a damper in my step. I think the rain. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like, we'll see. I'm backlogged. And when I'm backlogged, I'm just like, eh. But if I don't exercise, I'm also like, eh. Anyway, whatever. Look, my skin is clearing, you guys. The hyperpigmentation is still fading, even though I stopped using Omni Gold. But in all fairness, I am on retinol. In all fairness, I have niacinamide in my skincare routine. In all fairness, I also have vitamin C, so I do have other tyrosinase inhibitors. It's just that kojic acid was the fastest acting one, but it was also lightening the rest of my face, and we don't like that. Let's get straight into the point. Yo, you know what? I keep asking God why he has allowed for so much abandonment of my person. Like, I don't know what's going on. This morning I woke up to hear she doesn't even know that she's leaving. And by she, that was a communication about my mom. Apparently, allegedly, she doesn't even know that I'm leaving. But my thing is, where am I going? I don't know. Last night I also heard, as I was just chilling, doing a chill thing, in the spirit, that a scary release is going to basically kind of freak people out. And I can't say this enough. A scary release, what is that? A rapture? Like, how is that even a thing? I've grown and I've worn so much disbelief, unbelief, whatever you want to call it, when it comes to the rapture, that I don't want to run with it. Like, I properly do not want to run with it. So I don't know. Goodness, it's thundering and rumbling outside. It's probably gonna rain. If it rains, it better pour, so I don't have to feel like trash for not working out. It better pour, like cats and dogs. Okay, it better pour, cause that is the only reason why I would have to skip exercise. Cause I work out outside, and when it's raining, it just makes it impossible to do that. Yo, guys, I wasn't even able to sleep last night, like pretty much at all, because of demonic attack. So, like, show of hands, not that I would ever respond to anybody responding, but yeah, metaphorically, let's just put this out there. How many people, whether or not they're in the world or in Christ, feel like this can't go on anymore? Like the earth, the way that it is. I'm just curious, like, how many people feel like this is unsustainable, this planet? Last night I remember being like, but I'm not really ready to leave the earth yet, even in the rapture, because I want to see how far my hair's gonna go in growing. But are we gonna stick around in this nasty joint just to see how big a mane of hair I can grow, when it's basically killing everything and everyone on the left and on the right of them? Like, if life is that rough, like, we gotta go, you know what I mean? Anyway, this thunder better, like, just, like, leave me alone until I'm done talking here. How many people are sitting around wherever it is that they're sitting around, wondering if this is feasible? Like, where can the world possibly go from here, guys? I mean, you know, just basic question that. Where can the world go from here? Where? Like, what's gonna happen next, guys? Humanity has only ever morally declined. Please tell me if there's any time in history that exists at all on the timeline. 1 minute. At all on the timeline where people improved. What's going on here? Did I get bitten by something on the face? Ugh, whatever. Yeah, when has anything ever gotten better? Like, when has a really evil society improved? I need to know. Does it happen? It does happen. Cause that is the only thing that would make me sort of kind of think that maybe there is a tomorrow. I don't know. Let's just run our minds through it, shall we? Like, yeah, this ubiquitous crazy thing that's going on. When has a tyrant ever stopped being a tyrant, absent of there being, oh goodness, I don't even want to cover there, because, oh my goodness, like, wow, it's hard. It's so scorching. I didn't realize that I'm, like, all exposed down there. But it is what it is, eh? Yo, just deal. Yeah, where has a tyrant ever done a better thing? When has that ever happened, y'all? So hot. Tyrants don't just stop being tyrants, they gotta be stopped. Do you understand? So, like, I'm thinking about the Holocaust with Hitler. He never stopped, he had to be stopped. Like, there had to be a chock-a-block, a little bit of a full stop on him. I'm thinking about even, like, slavery. It was a really bad time, you know? But they had to be stopped. They had to be stopped. Like, they were stopped. They didn't just wake up one day and were like, oh, this is so wrong. We should probably not do that to people. Okay, so, gavel down. Slavery is abolished. Nah, they had to be stopped. It's that basic. No tyrant has ever just kind of seized hostilities against a people group himself. They had to be stopped. I'm even thinking about Pharaoh over the Hebrews. Hey, how he was like holding on for dear life to the guys. Guy had to be stopped. Baby was killed and everything. They have to be stopped. My question is, in 2023, who under heaven is stopping this nonsense? Like, why? Like, nobody's stopping my family from doing what they're doing to me. Nobody is stopping this menace in America from continuing with his thing that he's doing. Gross. Nobody is stopping YouTube from shadow banning me. Nobody is stopping this unemployment crisis. Nobody is stopping the abuse of a woman. Nobody is stopping the what appears to be inevitable suicide of a woman. Nobody is stopping anything that's going on around, never mind me, but everybody else in the world. Guys, yazin it. Yazin. I often wonder if my life would have been better if I was, I don't know, kind of, yeah, maybe it would have. I don't know. Because just like it meant, there are people that go through society kind of ignored, and so they largely don't experience too many problems because nobody's looking. But if at all people are looking at you, sometimes they ignore you precisely because they're looking at you. I don't know, like, I find men very disgusting. I cannot believe what's going on with my life. I'm just guys. I've just been like, I'm a woman for crying out loud, and people have just left me to suffer at the hands of such evil men, to a point where I developed just like a PTSD from about men. Like, it's just so disappointing. Like, the other day I was watching a video on YouTube of a Christian that I've been following for a very long time, or at least I thought he was a Christian, and then he just started talking about his lady love, his girl, his chick, his woman. And I was like, what the heck are you doing with a lady love chick woman as a Christian man without being married or trying to get married? What are you doing with a girlfriend? What are you doing with a girlfriend as a Christian man? What are you doing? We don't get to live like that. Like, we don't get to just date unless you're gonna make an honest woman out of a woman. You can't just be telling people on YouTube that the woman with whom I'm fraternizing agrees with what I'm saying. Like, there gotta be context to that. There are things that we can't just do as Christians. We don't just get to drop the B-bomb in a conversation. Oh, the other day I was hanging out with my boyfriend and he happens to think that this is what we need to do. Why is he your boyfriend? Like, there's just certain things that Christians are not supposed to be doing. We don't get to just date, go and eat spaghetti, then come back and like, I don't know, have a guy drop you off at the doorstep of his house, and then you see him again next week and you eat spaghetti again. What are you doing after that spaghetti eating activity? Are there any intentions for marriage? If not, why are you just dating? Like, that's what people in the world do. Like, getting into a relationship, and it's fun, it's exciting, but nobody's even talking marriage yet. Like, when a Christian guy's doing that, it's very disappointing. And for me, it's like, this is the world, okay? And given that nobody's truly serious about Jesus, I guess, home is where the heart is, Let's just go then. Let's go. And leave all of y'all with your boyfriends and girlfriends. Yeah. Your lovers. Not your fiancés or the people, that you're courting with. The people that you are seriously considering marrying. Just your boyfriends. Like, go with your boyfriends. Go with your girlfriends. Go on your little dates and eat spaghetti. But can't we just go home? Because this earth is exhausting. Like, why aren't people waking up to realize that it's just inappropriate to be a YouTuber for 5 years that we keep on listening to on a loop over and over and over and over again? For you to rock up and just one day tell us about your girlfriend. I mean, come on, guys. Like, if I were to rock up here on some, hey guys, what's up? I'm dating a new guy and I hope things work out. Would some of y'all not want to start, like, making like the Saints, go marching, but instead of in, out? Wouldn't you want to just leave? Because it's like, what is the context to that? We don't get to just jola. Like, we just don't. We don't get to just find a guy cute in the office and then, let him take us for cappuccino. There are rules. We are made of different kinds of material. We're from a different kingdom. We don't just nje money. So manje mina, if I've been following you for 7 years as a Christian, next thing you rock up on some my lady, my woman, my boo. What the heck? Who is she? Like, come on. Who is she? How you gonna be talking about your boo when we know you're not a married man? We know you're not married. So who is this boo? Who's your baby? Who's your lady love? What is her story? Is she a Christian? Can we see her? What is she about? Like, what's her story? What's your story? What's the story of all of y'all? The two of y'all. As you're busy hopping up and down like kangaroos in these streets, shocking the living daylights out of your audience with lady loves and boos. Who they be? Is that your fiance? Goodness gracious, I'll take it much stronger in my stride to listen to a Christian man that I've been following for years on end come and be like, the other day I was speaking with my fiance, then I'd be like, oh, he got engaged. But you don't just get to rock up and be like my girlfriend, or my boo, or my lady, or my sweet, like, pea pod, my baby. What? You're not married and we know it. Who is this person? We are Joylanje. Are you just like, taking strolls in the park, holding hands with like a chaperone around you? I doubt it. Like, are you making out? Are you kissing? Are you petting? Are you sleeping in the same bed? Are you having sex? Who is this boo that spends so much time with you that she has time to even comment on your videos on YouTube? Dude, like, you gotta be a man above reproach, a husband of one wife. You can't just be coming out here in these streets, hopping up and down like a bunny rabbit, all up in our grill acting like a Christian, and then be talking about your boo. That's what under heaven it is that we out here dealing with in the body of Christ. And it's like, do you not see inappropriateness staring longingly and lovingly into your eyes? Aniboni D thing. As guys know, man. Nah, man. Ne, kirne. Just no. Nothing else. No. When I was working at MTN, I dated this one rando Okie. Yes then, guys, no, I'm done, hey? Like, I'm even tired of dreaming. That's what's good. My dreaming is more like screaming, because I proper like, I can't. I'm yelling. There was this Okie that pursued me. Let me rather say was the first guy that ever sort of kind of like tried to pursue me. Ever since coming to Christ, everybody else was just kind of hopping around like kangaroos, feasibly pursue me. As in, like, I was actually listening to what he had to say, because everybody else, they were obviously tattering my chance, tattering my millions. The reason I say they were tattering my chance was because I'm a Christian woman, and as a man, you don't just get to pursue me from just seeing me at the mall, because you don't know I'm Christian. You therefore highly unlikely are Christian yourself, because if you were, you would be looking for a Christian woman, in which case you would not be hopping on, like, trying to ask a woman out at the mall based on how she looks, because you wouldn't even know if she belongs to Jesus. You're actually gunning for not being unequally yoked. Yeah. So, being pursued at the mall doesn't count. Being pursued by some stranger on the street doesn't count. It doesn't count when somebody sends you a DM on Facebook when they don't know you're a Christian, like proper. It doesn't count. The only pursuit that counted, the first one ever that counted, was 2 years into my faith, where it is that I had knowledge of the guy's alleged Christian activity. And so I was willing to hear what he has to say, since I did find him kind of attractive. And this buffoonery of a male goes on right ahead to pursue me. Took a minute for me to finally agree, because I was, sussing him out, and a lot was kind of offish. Some loose things were falling off him, and I was not entirely satisfied, but I decided to give him a chance. And I remember one time we were sitting literally on some couches at work. It was just so awkward. Anyway, yeah, and I'm sitting on that couch while this guy is really trying hard to get me in his life. And I was like, I found it, as in, I was like, so what is your intention with me? I mean, I have never under heaven ever asked a man that question before, because I was lost before. Now I'm found. Amen. Was blind and now I see. Yeah, I was lost. So whenever a guy asked me out and I thought it was cute, it was like, yo, let's go have some spaghetti at Nino's and chocolate milkshakes, yo, and look into the sunset at the end. Yes. Never did I ever pressurize a guy to give me an answer as to what his intentions are with me, because guys in the world run scared from questions like those from new chicks they see in the street. They're like, yo, I just met you. How are you gonna be asking me what my intentions are with you? Yeah, because it is anticipated that you're just gonna be drawing circles around each other, kissing, making out, maybe even having sex before you so much as even consider that this might end up in marriage. That's people in the world for you. Out here properly, like tail before the body, or egg before the chicken, chicken before the egg. I don't know. They just do things in reverse, okay? Where it is that they start out like a married couple and end up single. That's what's good. Whereas we start out single and end up married. Things work in lockstep. Number line from 1 to 10, not from 10 to 1. Yeah, but like I said, I was in the world, so we hop up and down and eat spaghetti. Coninos. And here it is that now I'm Christian. I've been trained in, the art of ending up married. And I've got this dude that I'm letting pursue me because I had understanding minimally that he's a Christian, okay? And I'm prepared to hear him out what he's got to say. And I'm now dropping the bomb that makes worldly men run scared. What are your intentions with me? Joe, it's not a bomb when you're Christian. It's an anticipated question. It's expected. If anything, a woman shouldn't even have to ask it. Like, if you're really dealing with a Christian man, a woman should not even have to ask, what are your intentions with me? Because ain't no Christian man out here trying to just eat spaghetti. What are you doing? If he's a true child of God, he's not trying to just eat spaghetti and sip on some milkshakes at Nino's, for crying out loud, and then look into the sunset, and then tomorrow you're still scared to ask this guy questions because you don't want to chase him away. If he's chase awayable, go then. Yo, goodness, good riddance. Whoa, you are like a shadow anyway, hiding me from the sun of true Christian men. So get out. Pumpele ndoda if you feel pressurized. Hamba nja. Yo, anyway, this nja turned out to be a little bit of a metagati. As labantu, guys, I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. Anyway, whatever. This okay. I'm sitting there it's like, why am I even having this conversation at work? Oh, quiet, Lana. I've got a meeting, but let this guy talk. Ish. And he's like sitting there on some, I like you. I'm like, hey, batung. Yo, guy. I'm liked by guys in the world. Oh, girl, you're so beautiful. You're so pretty. How about we go have lunch? I like you. I find so much about you intriguing and interesting. I like your personality. I like your earrings, and the top you're wearing matches well with your nose. Yo, girl, it's like, whoa, okay, thank you very much. I did not quite plan the nose to match with the top, but now that you noticed it, you highlighted it. I'm grateful for the fact that you recognized I've got that very spectacular sense of style. But still, what are we doing here? I've got a meeting, like proper. I have a meeting at 11:30, and you're like sitting here making me feel awkward and uneasy. Come 17. Get to the point. What are your intentions with me? What are your intentions with me? Guys in the world run scared because they go and they ask women out. And if a chick were to be like, what are your intentions with me? Yo, this dude would be like, I'm sorry, there's like 20 other ladies that are not going to be so chajarach. They're not going to be so forward out here trying to get a wedding ring. Before we even go on a first date, girl, like, yo, chill. Okay, go. Don't want you anyway. Worldly, birdly, worldly Bradley, worldly Bradley. That's what's good. Worldly Bradley. Worldly Bradley. Worldly Bradley, go on then, get yourself a perfect 10 that don't know Jesus. Cause I don't want you anyway, Worldly Bradley. I really don't. Brad, get the steppin'. Brad, get the steppin'. Brad. Worldly Bradley. Worldly and ungodly Bradley. Go. Go, Brad. Go, Brad. Go, Brad, and be a brat to some other woman that is going to be happy to let your nether regions peruse hers before she sees a ring on it. Go on, Worldly Bradley, with your ungodly and earthly anticipations. Here it is, and I'm dealing with Worldly Bradley. But like, he's calling himself a Christian. It's like, this guy's never been refined. He's never been taught. He's never been trained, obvious. And me, I'm a woman that has been trained what to expect in a man, if at all he's from God. And this guy was out here failing as he baza. But I still dated him for 2 months because Corobella will help you along. That's what's good. Worldly Bradley, I'm like, what are your intentions with me? And Worldly Bradley is like, yo, guys. He's like, Batung, what am I doing with this guy? Like, I have a meeting at 11:30. Bradley, come on, can I go to my meeting? We'll talk about this after work. Oh, Bradley. Oh, that's like it. Worldly Bradley, madly trying to get with a Christian girldly. He's like, it's like he had to travel around the world, go to the equator, come back. Go to the moon, come back to find the politically correct answer for a Christian woman. It's like you had to go and find the politically correct answer for a Christian woman. given that, you know, they're different from everybody else. When a man is not just second nature gliding in what God would have him do, he's not of God. From our bellies flow rivers of living water. We are guided by him. He's a lamp to our feet. Okay? Here's this guy going to the equator and back, the moon and back, the northern hemisphere, seeing as we're in the southern hemisphere, coming back, you know? And then he's like, I guess, marriage? Yo, hey, worldly Bradley. He went to the equator and back, and after a good, like, what appeared to be decade, he then, with a squinted face, looked at me and was like, marriage? I still dated him, what the heck? Ew, this guy. Took him a minute. What are your intentions with me? Steam comes out. Steam comes out of his, like, hair. And then finally, after a minute, he's like, marriage? And the way he said it was almost as if though he was trying to gauge if that's what I wanted to hear. Oh, hey, you know when you're full of settling. I know God has trained me, guys. I was literally working like a dog to settle. Because 1 minute, he did indeed provide the right answer for a Christian. He did. He provided the right answer for a Christian because I wanted to know if this guy was actually trying to court me, but that's not what he was trying to do. He had a crush on me, he had feelings for me, and he wanted to just explore them. Yeah, guys, as in, I've got a speech lag, but it's okay. He wanted to explore his feelings for me. Really? Where are you? He's Nostradamus now. He's an explorer. Yeah. He's on an expedition. He's a conqueror. He is Alexander the Great, trying to see what it's like to be with a truly Christian woman. That's the kind of rubbish that's looking at me right now. Nostradamus, maybe Napoleon Bonaparte, perhaps even Dynamite, the dweeby little, like, high school student. Alexander the Great trying to conquer. And he's doing everything in his power to see what it takes to answer rightly a Christian girl. Why do I gotta say? You know, like in game shows, when people are given time to answer, there's like that ticking sound. While this person is like, when they're given a multiple choice questionnaire and they got like from A to D, maybe even F, or a combination of B and C. Yeah. And this guy's like, and the clock is like, and there's like anticipation. Hey, like proper, everybody's wondering, is he gonna get it right? Is it gonna be wrong? Is he gonna be eliminated? Is he gonna stay? Is he gonna move to the next round? Yeah, yes, like it. When that's your date, when that's the kind of man that's looking at you as a Christian, when those are the kinds of men and the only ones that are looking at you, at you trying to see if at all they can't guess multiple choice out of like a myriad, like what, a batch of questions, a combination in JFL, see if they can get the right answer. When a person has to scratch his brain far and wide so he can explore his feelings for you. So he can explore his feelings for you. What the heck? Like when I was in the world, I explored my feelings for guys that I had a crush on, in the same way that they explored their feelings for me. And sometimes it landed in a long-term relationship lasting years. That's what happens when you explore feelings. Except I'm a Christian, and Christians should not be just merely trying to explore feelings. There should be an intention that is very solid about talking to any girl, about letting any guy talk to you. There should be just a very rigid intentionality. It's not what we do. Not if we really belong to God. I'm sorry, guys. Just random fraternizing. No, I'm sorry, no. Not in heaven. Not where I come from. It's that basic. But we out here dealing with people that are a deal breaker. Hey? Like 20 questions. What's the other one? The weakest link. That's what's good. Okay, weakest link in this guy. He hopes that he's going to make it to the next round and the next round, and is not going to be the one to cause the loss of all the money. Hard knock, like steam popping out of his brain. Hey, when a basic Christian question is asked, and this question should not even get to a point where it's being asked. Okay, ain't nobody out here in these streets supposed to even be asking that question. Because the man should rock up with it already answered. Because God has given him a resolve, a solidness, do you understand? To do the right thing by his girls. To do the right thing by his single women. To not just run them wild in the wilderness in Jefela, running circles around you, wondering what's going to happen over here. Is this going to end up in marriage? Or is this at least an intention unto marriage? We're Christians. We don't get to just rock up on our YouTube channels and talk about our booze, okay? We don't just get to rock up on YouTube and talk about our lady loves, our sweethearts, when don't nobody know if it's a fiance, don't nobody know if this is a spouse, don't nobody know if this is a prospect for marriage, don't nobody, there's nothing, no one, no accountability, for crying out loud. I'm gonna unsubscribe onto you on that day. I'm gonna leave, bro, man. Like, I'm gonna unsubscribe. Because I don't like it when people I follow that I respect suddenly start talking about their booze. When they're not married. And we don't know what they're doing with those booze, with those sweethearts, with those darlings of theirs. That they're not making honest women. No Christian man should be doing that. I got beef with that. I got beef with it. Because it's putting God's daughters in such a bad bunch that I've been waiting on God for like a minute to get married. And then they meet random randos in these streets that are out here talking about them in their YouTube channels like they're booze. I don't want no bugger talking about me like I'm his baby. Yeah, and I was just on the phone with my baby. Yo, who is she? I was just on the phone with my girl. I was just on the phone with my sweetie, my lady love. What the heck? Like, what? What is the context, dude? What is the context? Anybody at church at all, a pastor or friends to whom you are accountable, if you go there as a man or as a woman and you start talking about a boyfriend, they are responsible when they ask what exactly is going on there. What are your intentions with this boyfriend? What are you doing? Why have we not met him? Why are we, is it your fiance? Are you, like, you don't just get to have boyfriends as Christians. Like, yeah, well, it's the great apostasy. This dude that's out here, got deal or no deal, sitting on a couch, in front of me, clock ticking, going to Antarctica and back just to find an answer that would be appropriate for a Christian woman. He is in a trivia game, do you understand? Where it could go anywhere. It's like Survivor. His lamp might just be snuffed out if he doesn't answer right. That is a man that is playing games with a Christian woman, that is trying to see if he can't win a Christian woman the way that he does with worldly women. Like, where men in the world be like, ooh, I got game because I was able to land the chick in the school that every guy, like, just wapamba there. Every guy gets nowhere with her. Like, she rejects every dude. And like, she is going to accept me. When men are on that little tip, when they're on that random trajectory, when that's their general way of thinking, when that's the man that is taking you to eat spaghetti, you're in trouble as a woman. It's that basic. You're in trouble as a woman. When, as a Christian girl, especially new converts, there is a dude that understands that every guy, oh yeah, bamba, in your girl. But he's gone on right ahead to study like he's studying for a game show, a quiz, where he could win or not. And really, truly, his chances of winning are based on getting a common, what is this thing? General knowledge, yeah. So he goes and studies all different kinds of general knowledge books to increase his chances of winning this game show. And the general knowledge question, like, what is this booklet that he studies, is the Bible. He knows you're a Christian. He understands thoroughly that you guys think differently from the world. And to bank you or land you as a godly girl. He studies what is the most feasible answer to give a Christian woman versus a worldly woman. Like when you have to go to your archives to think, okay, she's Christian, so I can't answer her the way that I answered Lerato and Refilwe. The way that I answered Khotatso, no, that's not gonna fly because this is Karabo, so clock is ticking. Clock is ticking. And before the time runs out, the hourglass sand runs out, he's like, marriage? Samantha, have mercy on me. I wanna go home. I'm tired, I'm exhausted, like I can't stand men. And I am so incredibly disappointed even with this guy that I've been following for years that rocked up and slapped us with his boo. Like I was like, who is this boo? More like boo, things that go bump in the night, like a ghost. That's your boo. The boo that makes us scream. Cause you're looking hella apostate now. You're looking like you're fornicating. You're looking like you're trying to, you're looking like you're busy fraternizing with a woman that you don't even want to bring around your people at church because you know they wouldn't approve her because she's in the world. You're looking like you're capitulating to your lust as a man. You're looking like you're capitulating to your loneliness as a man. You're looking like you are trying to make all of us feel like it's okay for Christians to be out here talking about boyfriends and girlfriends with nothing at all being mentioned of intentionality to make these honest people. Nothing. As Joel, we don't just get to Joel. We don't do that as Christians because stuff like that causes compromise. So umuntu magafiga all up in our grill as believers talking about how they were hanging out with their boo. It's like, but like, why don't we get to hang with your boo? Do you feel stymied, stifled? Do you feel, encroached upon? If you feel encroached upon, then you're irresponsible because accountability is a big thing in the body of Christ. We sharpen one another as iron sharpens iron. So if you don't want us knowing about your boo because you think you're Asher, then likely that boo is not approved in the sight of God. And there are things that you are doing with that boo that are also not approved in the sight of God. You don't just get to spring a boo on us like a jack in the box, okay? Not in the body of Christ. And I got random boos trying to rock up all up in my grill and cause my disgrace, cause my second guessing as a Christian, cause my stumbling, cause my toes to be stabbed against the corner of a bed. Yeah. Kinsekili busy talking about how I met a man. He's my sweetie. Get your fella. I'm sorry, you're not gonna go and discredit my ministry, baga. You're not gonna go and right ahead and make me sit in front of people and now all of a sudden I have a boyfriend and don't nobody know what's going on. And because I'm talking about him, in order to relieve my guilt, I'm expecting the audience of Christians that are truly consecrated to God to just like glide right by the fact that you dropped your boo in a sentence alongside all the other things that I tend to listen to you concerning. Nobody's gonna come here and loiter my ministry. Nobody that is not going to make their intentions known like upfront and with the whole world aware of what under heaven is going on here that is around me, because I don't want to be discredited. God said don't even allow even the appearance of sin to be around you. So when that dude was busy rapping on about his boo, all I could think was, goodness, he's fornicating. His lady love, his darling, his sweetheart, a woman he just recently met that he fell in love with, but like it's just a boo, that's all that it is. He's not out here talking about how your fiance it's gonna land in marriage. You don't just get to keep yourself company until further notice in the body of Christ by having a woman around or a man. We don't just get to do that as Christians because there are consequences to our actions. We are accountable to a holy God and not a flaccid, fallen, fluffy world. A world that does not care about what God thinks about a situation. So I will boo all over the show. Me grand. This guy wako MTN scratching around his head trying to find an answer. Hey, 1 minute. This guy from MTN trying to find an answer that I asked him. He was dating worldly women, exploring his feelings for them, and now he wanted a Christian woman to explore his feelings for her, and he had to just find the right answer to give me. I still dated him, but it lasted 2 months because he was fluffy like that. Guys, like, this rain is a damper in my step. I bet you can hear that it's raining now outside. Whatever, okay? Like, I can't work out. What am I gonna do? I can say, guys, I didn't even get my rest, okay? All I know is that I keep getting dreams of guys that messed up with me in the past, that want to see if they can't reignite feelings in me. And so come in and this time around answer appropriately as I desire, so as to get me. Men that made a mistake where I'm concerned, like they passed me up, they now regard what they did as a mistake, and they are studying my ministry, hoping to basically find answers to how to talk to me. Mara umutwakale that scratched your head around to give answers to questions I asked that were not, they were just not enough, okay? Like this guy wako MTN that answered me marriage, I guess. That dude was nowhere near ready getting married. In black culture, we don't just marry nje. Dowry is a thing. A bridal price, lobola. That guy had not saved any such money up, yet he claimed to be a man ready to get married. At the time, I was 27, 8. Nah, 28. Yeah, I was 28 because I was like 2 years into my faith. Remember, I got saved at 26 and a half. I was like 28. And this guy was 31. He was 3 years older than me. He was born in 81. And how in the world are you a Christian man at the age of 31 that has a desire for marriage? And you are South African and you are black. How under heaven, when you are also fully employed, able to save money, upon deciding that you don't want to spend the rest of your life single, serving Christ in singlehood, when you decide that one day you want to get married, how under heaven do you get yourself to the age of 31? He had apparently been a Christian for something like 5 or 7 years by then. How do you allow yourself to get to the age of 31, fully employed? Oh, like you have a whole apartment, a car, and a spare change. You keep changing your iPhones every year. The way you got so much spare cash just lying around. How under heaven, at 31, as a single man with an intention to one day get married, who is apparently praying to God for a wife, how as a black South African man, knowing that in black culture, if you're gonna grab a black wife, unless of course he was trying to go and marry a colored or a white girl or an Indian girl, but even then, as a black man looking for a wife in South Africa, even if you end up married to a colored girl or a white girl and basically cultures that don't require lobola, you don't know if that's who you're gonna end up married to. You don't know if you're gonna fall. You don't know that you're gonna fall in love with a white girl. You don't know that you're gonna fall in love with a colored girl and so not have to take out lobola. So you gotta plan. You gotta plan. How do you get to the age of 31 as a single man that is Christian, that has been saved for 5 to 7 years, who has an intention to one day be married? So you don't want to be single forever, and you have not even so much as saved up what could be potentially what is required of you in lobola. You don't know how much the girl's parents are going to expect or ask of you. And you don't know what in the negotiations you're going to have to pull out. So you have to have a contingency reserve of any amount of money. A minimum 100,000 rands just needs to be sitting around for you to pay lobola out of. Either the full 100k or more than 100k or less than 100k, but you have to at least have 100k just sitting around. If at all you are 31 with a salary that is like, that dude could have, he could have been earning something like that was like 2014, 2012. He could have been earning just under 40k a month, 35 to 40k a month. That is like salary ya gage. And on top of that, MTN, we used to get these like bonuses and whatnot, savings. He had a side hustle in photography. There were so many things he was doing. Yeah, he had like, goodness. What in the world? Car fully paid. So you're not paying a car, you're just paying rental in your apartment. Who gets to 31 with such intent, with such desires as a Christian man? As a Christian black man in Africa, a black man in South Africa, and does not at least have 100,000 rand sitting around waiting ukubhadala ilobola. That's a worldly man for you. I'm sorry. And I don't even know if there exist any Christian black men in South Africa who get born again perhaps from the age of like angazi 24, who realize the irresponsibility of just sitting around on your salary when you have an intention to get a wife. Does any man exist that has actually saved up for lobola? Does any man exist that has saved up for lobola without even meeting his bride? He just knows he wants to get married and he doesn't want to waste time. He does not want to waste the woman's time until busy still raising the lobola, or even taking out a loan due to the fact that he did not plan in time. It's not responsible to take a loan. Why? Because you are about to get married and enter into a marriage indebted, and so therefore subjugating your wife to the tyranny of that debt. So literally as soon as you wake up and smell the coffee, even as a worldly man, you should at some point when you start working your first job in corporate, you should be putting aside 2,000 rands every month, dude. You should be putting out, when you get your bonus, half of it, put it in a kitty. If you want to get married, it's black culture. It's the way that we are, guys. Black people, black men. You can't run away from lobola if you end up married to black girls. You can't, there's no escaping that. You gotta have that just chilling somewhere. And if at all you don't have it, all you're trying to do is fraternize with a poor cheeky without any intentions being fulfilled. You're trying to explore your feelings. That's what's good. That's all you're trying to do. What will explore the feelings? How in the world you gonna start saving up for lobola when you meet the one? It'll go sing 2 years young on a bunch. You're gonna waste 3 years. It is no wonder these guys are busy dating for 5 years before they marry women. Like, you properly start to save only when you discover that, okay, I want to marry this woman. But like, as a Christian man, you should never be in any position to waste any woman's time. So here it is that I'm dealing with a 31-year-old that has got zero savings in his bank account, and he's out just answering me couch marriage, really? Uzoyikhipha wena ilobola for a woman ofundayo, for a woman with this caliber of a job in corporate South Africa. Uzoyikhipha wena ilobola for isnob South Africa, Model C. Uzoyikhipha wena ilobola for the kind of woman that I am in this competitive market. Uzoyikhipha boy. And nakhona when, in order for us to avoid lust and fornication, askwazi putwam to be just dancing around like kangaroos, months on end, years on end, instead of jola fail, because we're gonna fornicate. So you gotta put me in a position to be married, and real fast too. Once you make a decision that this is it, and then you ask me, and if I agree that this is it, then we should be married in like 2 months or something, dude. Lobola, shut the quick, nje. Uncle's already got the dough, mama already given a portion, like it's good. They are chilling now, kraling, yako habo the cheeky. That's what's good. But nah, you out here trying to answer trivia questions, like, wait again, Trivial Pursuit, your brain. You are bashing against it, trying to answer Christian questions when your bank account is sitting on minus 20,000 rands. Nalo overdraft wena, that's what's good. Minus 20,000 rands. A South African black mzalwane. You are just telling her that I think marriage is what you want to hear, so I'm going to give you that answer. And then she's going to find herself in a relationship with you, answer jola, fraternizing. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months, 1 year, 2 years, yo! Next thing, Kara was rocking up on YouTube talking about a boyfriend. Boyfriend. A guy I've been with for 2 years and expect my audience to not suspect me of fornication? Why am I still a girlfriend? Yeah, because my man, hey, Joe, his bank account was sitting on minus 20,000 rands and he just finished paying off his overdraft like 2 months ago and only now says, Sansadi 2,000 randa. I'll save it towards lobola. So by the end of 2027, we might just actually pay for the traditional whole establishment. Like a white wedding. I planned, yasi. I asked the Lord to prepare me for marriage. That was just so creste. Yeah. So therefore, I anticipate that a man would also be prepared to marry when he comes into my life. In the same way that I got myself walking around in my father's business, being about my father's business, I anticipate a man that is going about his father's business should have, if at all he intends on taking an African bride, given that he's an African man living in Africa, he should anticipate that he's going to be expected from ilobol. Minimum. But you see, never mind lobola for white men, since I don't even think I'm going to end up married to a black man, right? white men don't expect to get married to black girls a lot of times, largely, right? It is not necessarily something that they default to from birth. It is generally anticipated that a white guy is likely going to end up married to a white girl. Yeah, largely, for the better majority. It's not always cast in stone set, but it's an anticipation, it's an expectation. It is a high probability, just based on the fact that people tend to stick within their races. It's a fact, and it's nothing to do with racism, right? It's just a fact. That's what's good. But even the white guy has no excuse for not being able to pay for a black girl's lobola should he fall in love with a black girl. Why? Because if he's a single white guy waiting on the Lord for a wife, having prayed for a wife, and he is of a certain age and he does not anticipate to stay single for the rest of his days because he definitely wants a wife, he should be saving for a wedding. He should be saving for a home in which to live with a woman, a wife that he's going to cleave to, and the two become one flesh. He might not have created a contingency plan, a little bit of a bucket of savings for lobola, because he didn't expect to be with a bride whose family is going to expect that of him, a bridal price. Yeah, but nonetheless, it should be made available anyway, because weddings cost money, marriages cost money, getting secure with a person costs money. And so a man that has not planned, what are you doing asking a woman out? What are you doing fraternizing? What are you doing exploring your emotions, your feelings? You are wasting a woman's time and putting her in a position to fornicate with you. You are putting her in a position to be burdened with passions, unable with any foreseeable near date to exhaust those passions in the bedroom, because now she can. She cannot relieve herself in the presence of all of your glory, now that she's all in love with you. Because you are like, Papa, she has no idea when marriage is happening. Because you are looking at your empty bank account, or bank account that has only 2,000 rands savings in it, since you only started saving last week. Yeah. And you're looking at a woman that you have told the right answers in a trivia, in a quiz, at a game show. And she, thanks to your right answer, has given you a chance. And now there are crickets rolling around on your first date, second date, third date. Crickets rolling around on your 11th date, 21st date, 31st date, 50th date. Yeah, what in the world? It's like 51st dates with Drew Bermo. 51st dates. Like, yeah, everything that's happening all the way up until the 50th date. Is the same thing that's been happening since the first date. No progression, nothing moving ahead. Why? Because this little bugaboo, a bugging me, he's just a bugaboo. Yeah, all he has been doing since date one is starting to save. And so therefore wasting a woman's time and violating her with passions. I don't want to be rocking up in my ministry talking about no boyfriend. Do you understand? I don't want to be rocking up in my ministry talking about no boo, no lover. What am I doing? Only thing I'm talking about is a courtship. Only thing I'm talking about is a fiance, a betrothal. I'm not talking about no boyfriend. It's just not happening. Because then people are going to underestimate me. Just as I underestimated that random buffoon that I am unsubscribing from officially. It's literally going to happen starting today. I was already suspecting his message anyway. What's he doing with a boo? It just does not make sense. What's he doing with a boo? I don't know if he's been married before, but bottom line was young poor. I get about disreputed lankudra. Kibana that happen upon a cute chick the way that you would happen upon a cute chick on, like, in these streets. And then you decide to, like, brave it out and shake off. Guababa. You ask her out with absolutely no intentions of marrying her. But hey, you might one day decide to marry her, but right now you're not sure. No Christian man enters into a relationship like that, where they have no intention to ever marry the person that they are now pursuing. If a Christian man asks you out, if he wants to talk to you, assume already that he is thinking very richly about marrying you. He just wants to find out if his decision is feasible by actually courting you. But the moment he so much as taps on your shoulder, go, 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 he already is wondering if this could be it. He's not just trying to play around fraternizing the way that people in the world just fraternize with each other. That random buffoon, Wakwa MTN, not happening again. Do you understand? Ever in my life. Just dating. But he has told you in the run-up to you agreeing to date him that I guess marriage is what you Christian girls are usually looking for. So I guess that's what I'm intending with you right now. When that bugger didn't even have a single cent saved up for lobola. Had not saved up lobola, I was gonna be in a relationship with a man, just like with my ex-boyfriend. It was gonna be like a repeat offense. I was gonna get deja vu. hard knock, where I'm dating. Like, that's what happened with my ex when we were in the world. 1 year. After a year had progressed, I was like, okay, maybe now he should start proposing marriage. Oh, like 2 years. 3 years. 4 years. 5 years, we finally broke up. I was going to experience deja vu with a guy that I was just dating, and the years would progress, the months. And this guy would be like out here on some baby, I love you, know we're gonna get married. Baby, I love you, know we're gonna get married. Yeah, that's what my ex told me too. Never once did he ever get down on bended knee to propose. Yeah, the guy made a decision that I was the wife after we broke up. Yeah. Don't know what you had till it's gone. Type setup thing. But this time around, I'm doing it with a Christian guy. Yo, that's like a repeat offense. Dating a worldly man with a veil of Christianity, because he has not even put in place a contingency plan to marry a black bride from Africa. Hade Zindota Mandini, Yazini Grand. Who in the world gets to the age of 31 with a desire to get married without saving up for lobol? Who in the world gets even to 28 with a desire to get married? Anga saving it ne 5,000 rand towards. Who in the world under heaven is a reasonable man to be with as a Christian woman that does not have a kitty, a little bit of a piggy box? You know what is involved in black culture, men. So manje, when you're busy fraternizing lutsuko so fenya orange yako MTN, munanta li busy awo arabang kare oko the weakest link. Ay, wait again, it's okay. Let's just get out of this game and wait for God to orchestrate a romance. Cause I'm Rebecca and he's Isaac. Ufika lang ama gifts to my family, giving me a nose ring and everything. That's what's good. Top of that, I'm feeding his camels, and then when I go home, I meet my Isaac. That's how we get collected as Christian girls. Men rock up all up in our grill with gifts already. They're out here rocking up, giving our mothers presents. They're out here taking our dads for foot spas. They're out here taking our dads to golfing. They are out here already giving presents to the family of the woman so as to gain favor from the father, who has got to approve this betrothal, that it might ultimately become an espousal, that it might ultimately become a whole marriage. That's what's good. Figalana, the dude with polish for the tires of the dead, rocks up and buys the little sister ballet shoes. Like rocking up all up in your grill. Since I get how the pizza 6 set, king set ya 12, ya the pizza, le cutlery and crockery, and alongside as a voucher ya spa treatment komangwanani. Yeah, rocks up having bought your sister a painting. Ya Picasso. They are okay, maybe that's a little bit extreme, but you get my point. Usiswako is out here putting a new painting and a mirror in her house, cause you got a man at home, he's waiting on me. Shantae's got a man at home. That's what's good. Your little brother got a pair of Jordan sneakers. That's what's, yeah, cause your man is home. Trying to count my sente wako on some, yo, I mean, I met a Christian woman, ish son. Okay, and the next thing you're knocking on Netbank's door, go 100,000 rand loan. So a wife already starts on minus 100,000 in a marriage. Cause community of property, cause what are you doing the anti-nuptial agreement as Christians? We don't do that. It don't make no sense. It's worldly, it's carnal, and it suggests there will be a divorce. I wouldn't have a prenup in Christianity. So if at all you're gonna go out here grabbing a 100,000 rands personal loan to pay lobola ya musadi, yeah, no, it's 50k for her now, so she's paid half of her own lobola thanks to a marriage and community of property. And you spice bantu abamnyama ezini. And futhi on top of that, lokushalwa loku rough, mina I'm over it, sengimdala ngengaka. Na 39, lost me 8. Kodwa, there are guys from Dala that could not answer questions properly. Bafuna ukungena empilweni yami manje, bafuna ukungikokotela, and I keep dreaming about them. Mina ngiyobashaya nge-quiff current ezwa. Kola washapaka quiff current. Abutu skatlong bora. Not only have you gone on right ahead to marry another woman, wamunthetsa lobola ya personal loan back in the day, obatla ufika now as a second wife. That's what's good. Kalobola e otlontang personal loan kayona, while I pay half the fees of your divorce. Yeah, next part.